Hi, everybody. Welcome back and happy Friday the 13th. Whoa. Listen, I like me some Friday the 13th. I was pulling out actually in my car earlier, and we spoke with Gina Marie, the spiritual medium from New Jersey, and she told us that my father-in-law, who unfortunately passed a few years back, that he lives with us. He's always with us. And every time I get in my car, or Jason gets in his car and we're in the garage, it shows somebody walking around our car. And I'm like, oh no, like is it a ghost? I don't know. So then today I saw it and I said, happy Friday the 13th there, sir, because I know that you're here and you're watching. I love some ghost type stuff, the spirits, the things, I'm going to say something and stick my foot in my mouth. Anyways, guys, welcome back. Smash the like button. If you're in the live chat, let us know where you're watching from. We have two of my favorites today, Kim from Bravo Breaking News and Ashley from Taste of Reality. So let's go ahead and welcome them up. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Good morning and afternoon.
Yeah, good morning and afternoon. I see where people in the live chat, you guys are asking about Jason. If you guys are watching, you know that Jason used to do Anchor Watch with Josh. He's about to fly out to Portland for a Cirque du Soleil event and go and be with Josh. So maybe they'll record something. Maybe they will. I don't know. But no, Jason's sort of behind the scenes now. People think I just like buried the body. I promise he's here.
We're going to need evidence, please, like samples.
Go to his social media and watch his stories. He's there.
Are we sure they're not pre-recorded? I'm going to have them like hold up a cell phone or a newspaper for confirmation, please.
Oh, trust me. It wouldn't. I know I wouldn't get away with. I wouldn't get away with it. People. I would be the first person if something happened to Jason. They would point at me. So no. It's not.
Would you guys ever be able to commit a crime without cracking? I could never do it. Like, I have the worst conscience and I'm a terrible liar.
I'm a terrible liar. I would never get away with murder. Let's just say that.
If I think about it, when I find myself in a situation where somebody's asking me a question and I can't say something, I start shaking and my knee goes like this. Like they would crack me in 2 seconds. Like, where's the body? I'm like, I didn't do anything. Where's the body? It's under the house.
Like it's in 12 pieces under the basement.
I would freak out. There's no, like, you see some of those people on those crime shows and they'll sit there and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they pass the lie detectors and everything.
I know. If I'm fully invested in The Perfect Couple right now, if anybody else is watching on Netflix. So yeah, let's just say that. Is that kind of like that? Yeah. Oh, everybody's getting interrogated. There's a murder. Highly recommend it if you need a little break from the Bravo, because we all do at some point or another.
You know, and I feel like we've gotten so much between the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We had Perfect Couple drop this same week. Emily in Paris is finishing up. That just came out yesterday or whenever. It's too much. Too much is happening. There's too much to watch.
Too much is happening.
I'm living for it. Like, the summer was slow. I'm ready for fall TV. Like, sign me up. I need a watch list. Like, just go and binging every show. Like, I love it. I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
It's Salt Lake City, Potomac coming out. There's one more.
New York.
Oh, New York's coming out.
And then Beverly Hills will come later this year.
And Southern Charm.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, it's
gonna be happy fall winter.
Yay.
I love it.
Before we get into it, can we do a round of Friday the 13th check? And am I the only horror person here? Do you guys love horror?
Oh my God, I love horror.
Can we get a quick check of favorite movies?
Oh, Kim,
do you go, Adam. My husband's a horror buff. I'm not so much. I prefer the lighter fare. So, Adam, why don't you take this one?
My favorites are Hills Have Eyes and the Strangers ones, where like all of a sudden they're like, it's like, Amanda home? And they're like, no, girl, it's 3:00 in the morning. They're out in the middle of nowhere, which I would never do. And she's like, okay. And she's like swinging out in the front yard. And then everybody comes up trying to get in the house with the knives and the guns. And it's terrible. And it gives me anxiety and I never sleep. But I sit there and I watch like this.
Bravo. Yeah. I'm an 80s kid. So like, I love all the like Nightmare on Elm Street. That's my favorite franchise, but I love basically all of them. There's not a horror movie I won't watch. The Shining, classic, a new classic. I love Jennifer's Body, 5 stars. I mean, go recommend. Oh, and I have to make a correction. Last time we chatted, we were talking about that movie Heartbreakers and Jennifer Love Hewitt. And it was not Jamie Lee Curtis. I got my horror queens mixed up. It was Sigourney Weaver. I went from to like sci-fi horror. Sorry, goddesses. I made a mistake.
You need to issue a retraction.
My retraction has been issued. I apologize to the horror community.
Statement redacted.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So speaking of, since you said, like it's like Bravo overload, I felt like I got a little overload last night. I think that this is a great place to start because I knew this was going to be a shitstorm. I knew it when I saw the lineup for Watch What Happens Live. Our opinions, you guys, on the Alexis Bellino, John Jansen of it all, because there were a couple moments, and I just want to point this out for those of you guys listening. If you didn't hear, we learned some things. We learned John Jansen is not signing a prenup. I think that's ridiculous. But then we also learned from John Jansen why he did not agree to a mutual non-disparagement. I'm going to start down here. I see Kim's face. Kim, what are our thoughts?
Well, I mean, according to Shannon, John has no money. So why would he need to sign a prenup? Like, she paid for everything. So I don't know. This was crazy. But Andy asked all the right questions. Like, thank you, Andy, for asking what we all want to know. Like, what did Shannon say that was so bad? And again, he spits out, the fat shaming comment and that like she paid for everything. Like, dude, that's not that bad. Like, get over yourself. And the whole like, I want to be private. I don't want to be, in the public eye and stuff. There he is sitting on a national show, like in the audience answering questions. He's like, I don't want the public to know about my life, yet you are literally sitting in the audience on the show with a mic pack, all ready to go. It was insane to see it. His outfit. I mean, guys, the scarf, the leather jacket.
It was the giant cross for me. When the least holy people are just so like forwardly religious. Like, I am not shaming anybody. If you want to wear your cross, your Star of David, I love it. I support everybody. But when you are literally spitting fire, vitriol, and hatred at somebody with a cross.
The scarf? Wait, is it cold enough in New York for the scarf?
I feel like
the scarf isn't, that's not like a scarf for warmth. That's like a scarf for style. And it's like, it's not giving anything. Sorry.
Like, I feel John Varvatos styles Howard Stern. He styles the guy from ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons, and like of this like sort of look, but it's very classy and just upscale and elevated. This looks like the Wish.com version of John Varvatos. And if it is a John Varvatos or somebody like of a higher echelon look, don't style him. He's not giving your clothes justice. Like, I have a feeling he was styled. It's not working on him.
Yeah. So if we're doing fashion or trash hun, we're going with trash hun, guys.
Oh God. What about Alexis?
She looks like she stole the priest's outfit and was like, I'm going to be Jesus Jugs, but in a priest outfit, make it fashion. And this is what we were given. Like, this shawl thing. No. But I do love a pony.
I do think that Alexis, I think she looked good. I'm not going to lie. She's beautiful. Let's be honest. She looks great. Yeah. I think she has good style. So I don't know. I didn't hate her look. Now, I do have to give a shout out to Katie because she looked the best she's ever looked on Watch What Happens Live. Absolutely stunning. 12 out of 10. I could not have like chosen a better look, glam, everything for her. It was great.
Even her daughter, like when you see them in their confessionals and stuff, they're both so pretty. Let me go ahead and just bring that one up too. But yeah, no, she looked absolutely stunning as well. And, I was sitting there thinking about that episode last night and some of the things that were being said. And what irks me about Alexis Bellino, like even last night when she thought she was going to have a conversation. One, I'm so confused. We have to go through this, you guys. I don't know what classifies as appropriate timing and not appropriate timing for Heather Dubrow, because it's like, really? You want to do this right now? You think this is appropriate? It's like, yeah, this is the whole point. This is the job. You guys get together and you call out shit, conflict resolution. That's the point. And then it's like, I think that this is a family event that is giving back to equality. So I think that this would be the perfect time to hash it out over a DUI and being with your ex-man. That's the perfect time. Like, Heather Dubrow, I'm very confused, but I would love to learn from you because you're rich as hell and I am not. So you're doing something right, girl. I didn't get that though.
That whole part was just a mess. Oh my God. Kim, I couldn't agree with you more. This look is stunning. As far as the mixed messages, I kind of don't know what I watched yesterday. Like the episode was kind of going around in circles. I felt like as good as the last few episodes have been, this one was a real dud. But then to get that watch what happens live, like that's where I became gobsmacked. Point out something that you said earlier. John Jansen was mic'd. They knew they were cutting to him. That was all part of the plan. A lot of times they go to the audience and you can't hear him or them. You could hear him. So just saying. Oh, and did you guys see first thing this morning? It came out. Alexis did the reality podcast and she's saying that it was like a slip of the tongue that she said that they were going to show the videos, and allegedly John at no point said he was going to use those videos. She said she was frustrated. They had been prying at her all day, and that just kind of came out, and that had never been stemmed from anything John said. And this whole him releasing of the tapes was never going to happen.
That's because her name's not tied to the lawsuit. And if she's like confirming that, Shannon can probably weaponize that in court, like saying that, look, even his fiance is saying that he will blackmail me and he is going to try to take me down. It's not about the money. It's about my character. Now, if she retracts that statement, then maybe that can't be used in court the same, because now she's like, I'm lying. I'm a liar.
Yeah, it's like Alexis, continues to defend John, and now she's becoming his fall guy. Like, oh no, I'll take the blame for all the wrongdoings. It was all me. He had nothing to do with it. And what pissed me off about last night's episode was that all of the sudden, Alexis acts like she's a saint because she wants to sit down with Shannon. She's like, well, just because I talked about the videos, I didn't release them, so I'm not doing anything bad. It's like, you're the one that brought this out into the open, brought up the topic of her almost running over John's daughter. Like, we wouldn't know any of this information if it weren't for you. And for you to sit back and be like, well, I'm trying. Well, I'm going to sit down with Shannon and be the bigger person. I didn't release the videos. None of those make you an innocent bystander in this. You are the person who is egging this on and being like the evil, manipulative, like Shannon said, effing bitch.
Well, and also to add to this, you can't say, I'm not the one who brought it up. Like, Gina, you're such a bitch. Why would you bring that up? Like, seriously, Gina. And it's like, no, girl, you brought it up on camera. Mm-hmm. Gina did her job. You gave her the ammunition. You gave her the smoking gun. Of course, she's going to run with it because this is the biggest storyline of the season. So you bringing it up on camera, telling Gina that, and then coming back and being like, I'm not the one who brought it up. I don't even know why they brought this up. This wasn't me. It's like, no, it was you. It came from you. And even worse, you said it on camera. And I died last night when she was like, I'm going to talk to her. And Shannon's like, I don't want to talk to her. And then when Shannon was leaving and somebody did a slow-mo, I don't know, maybe it was even one of you guys, because in the morning I'm like half awake, like half cocked, like one eye open, one eye shut. And I'm like looking and and somebody did a slow-mo where as Shannon was reaching down, Alexis reaches up like she's getting a hug. And Shannon was like, what did she say? What were her words?
I believe she said Alexis went in to do the hug when she saw Shannon leaning in, which was just hysterical in the first place. And then Shannon goes, I know you want to talk, but I want nothing to do with it. And just continued on with her day. I mean, this is why Shannon is Shannon Beador. Shannon is friggin' Shannon Beador for that reason alone. It was perfection.
I mean, her signature storming out, we're going to get a Shannon storming out every episode. And this was so iconic. would you guys sit down with Alexis in this scenario? I mean, hell no.
Even when she was trying to say, yeah, that does look good on you, when she was trying on the jacket and she's trying to have a moment. People like this drive me absolutely insane. I hate somebody who can smile in my face and put a gun to my back. I hate dealing with people like that. And Alexis is giving me that, because it's like, you're sitting there having these private conversations and I'm not the one who got a DUI. And really, she's the bitch that ran her car into the house. And like, it's so aggressive. And like, even the way that she speaks on the John Jansen, I get defending your man, your spouse, but I thought about it, like if I were in your situation and I just got with my husband 10 years ago and he was dealing with an ex in a lawsuit and I still had to be around that person, I would just and this is me, I would keep my nose out of it and be like, you know what? Like, I don't know what happened. I wasn't a part of that, but I'm looking forward to what's to come with me and my own independent relationship with this man. I hope you guys are able to work it out, but just for my sake, I told him I don't want to really hear about it. And from you, I don't really want to talk to you about it either. I just hope we can be friendly, you know? Like, you want everything to do with it. You know, it's your only storyline. You know that if you didn't have it, you wouldn't even be on the show to begin with.
It's all so transparent, and the fact that Alexis and John keep on going back and really thinking that they're going to pull a quick one on us. Like yesterday on Watch What Happens Live, when Andy said that they were doing the polls yesterday, when we opened the episode to working the polls, because you can't deny what they're saying, and you're getting a live reaction from these people, and the polls were not in favor of Jesus Jugs and Johnny J. They were not in favor of Katie. I feel like Katie was braced and ready for it. Alexis just kept on going back. Oh, but in the edit, but if they showed more, it's not just me talking about Johnny J and having sex. Everybody was talking about their sex lives.
Which is also gross.
It's
vulgar, but also there's nothing more that Andy hates than blaming the edit or production and all. And she should know better than that, because in his mind, he's probably fuming, like, stop blaming it on us, especially right now with everything that Bravo's going through legally. Stop pinning your shit on us. When the camera goes on you, you're the one who said that. We didn't AI your voice to your body and like make you say this. You said it. And whether or not we picked up on, like Heather Dubrow talking about having tons of sex with her husband and we didn't air that, whatever, it doesn't matter. We aired yours. You still said it. So just because both of these scenes didn't air, it doesn't like take away from the one that did,
Exactly. Like, I want Bravo to roll all the footage of Alexis and see if that changes anything, because I guarantee it will not. Like, no matter how many like sympathy storylines you have, I know she does have like a family story that I would be interested in seeing, but to be honest, it's not like that makes up for all the other shit scenes and all the, shit talking she's doing to Shannon. So I don't think it will make a difference, even if Bravo were to air every scene that they filmed with Alexis unedited.
Yeah. And even Jim Bellino did that Patreon interview with Kelly and Rick. And he said, so, she can't really talk too much about her kids because she's probably afraid, like, something she might get in trouble, and she can't show her kids. So she can't really step into that full-time housewife role. But I honestly think even if she could, she wouldn't have the orange in the bag anyways. I think that she's brought on. It's like a season, a reason, and a lifetime. You're not a lifer. There's a reason. You're not even on for a season. It's a reason. We have you.
When I spoke with her and John at the opening of the Bravo TV experience, and Alexis did tell me she thinks it's a one and done. She doesn't think that she will be coming back. And at that time, which was over a month ago, like, I was excited for her to come back. It was before she started throwing all of this in Shannon's face. But I think seeing like the viewer reactions and how this is all playing out, I think as viewers, like, we'll probably be ready to move on after this season for sure.
Yeah. It's almost like we got scandaled out, except this wasn't as big. And now we're Johnny Jade out.
Right. And the fact that Johnny J doesn't like the nickname Johnny J only makes me want to call him Johnny J even more. Like, I will never call him his full name anymore. He is only Johnny J. I'm sorry.
Can I ask one more question before we move on from OC?
Yes.
Do we have, I'm just thinking how I would word this. Do we have somebody who we lean more in favor towards as like believing, whether it's Katie or Gina with this whole situation, because I know Heather Dubrow starting to believe Gina. I'm loving Gina this season. I personally think that Gina was smart and planted the seed and said, bring it up, and like kind of coached her like, well, this would be a breakout moment for you. This would be like, if you want to get in there, you want to get into the drama, Heather Dubrow's not going to let it go. And I think that she did coach her. And I think that Katie might have had her own interpretation of what that coaching was. And now she saw it didn't work out. And she was like, oh, fuck. Well, Gina made me do it.
Well, she even said on Watch What Happens Live last night, it was a great episode, you guys, great episode. She even said, she's like, well, yeah, maybe this wasn't the best judgment call for me to do and go after Heather Dubrow. But if I didn't, you guys would have said I was boring.
Yeah.
She hit the nail on the head with that for sure.
She's right.
So at least she's self-aware, like I do love a self-aware queen. She's coming in. She knows, I did think it was a little thirsty, this whole storyline. I'm really tired of it and I would like to move on. But I agree with you, Adam. I feel like it's a little bit on both sides because Gina definitely planted this and Katie kind of ran with it because she knew she had to bring something. So I don't know. That's how I feel about it. I can't really choose. There's no like black and white, right and wrong here.
Yeah.
I think that the truth lies in the gray also. I think that they both had a part in it. They both know that they're making a TV show. When we talk about friendships, this, that, and the other, and how one treats the other, it all comes down to, yes, they're friends on a TV show, but it is a TV show, and they are making these judgments and these decisions based on forwarding a storyline. So I think that's just what it was. And that's okay. They're making a TV show. This is what happens.
Well, and like Kim said, at least you're self-aware and honest with that's when the fans respect you. It's like even that Taylor girl from Mormon Wives. It's like she owned it. So then that's why she didn't get the same bad rep that Whitney did, because it's not like, oh my God, I would never do that. Then here, watch my TikToks with me playing with X-rated toys,
Well,
so
that was the difference. Yeah, that was the difference last night on Watch What Happens Live between Katie and Jesus Jugs is one is self-aware and the other one is literally on another effing planet. Like, wherever you are, send us a postcard. I have questions.
Yeah, You're so right with that.
Okay. So we got a trailer yesterday for the Real Housewives of Potomac. So we're going to move this on. The ladies look phenomenal. I actually I'm looking and I'm like really excited about our newbies. Trailer 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. I'll start with you, Ashley. What did it give you? Are you excited about Potomac? Or are you like, I don't know yet?
As somebody who loved Potomac, the first 3 seasons are top notch, 5-star, highest quality, put it on a shelf. I give them all a medal. It was the best Housewives. I've not enjoyed Potomac for the last few years. I've not personally been a fan of Mia so much. So the fact that Mia is in the middle, go ahead, girl. You did that. Mia did that. Respect and props where it belongs. She's not my favorite character on the show. So therefore, I can't say I am the most excited. However, new Housewives, obsessed, can't wait. Love that we're going to be talking about the Karen Huger DUI head on. Look at our Grand Dame right there. That is Grand Dame.
Yeah,
serving.
She looks amazing.
This Ashley loves Ashley Darby. I am very excited to see her journey continue. I'm here for it. 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 6. I'm not thrilled for it. The other shows look so much better, which is maybe why I'm not ranking this one higher. But will I watch it with bated breath and eager eyes? Yes.
Okay. Kim?
I think I'm right in line with Ashley. I think that the trailer was a little drab. It didn't give a whole lot, but if Karen Huger has 100 fans, I am one of them. If she has one, I am the one. If she has none, I am dead, because
I saw that this morning.
I will watch Karen Huger on my TV for like literally anything. Put her on anything and I will watch it. I love her. So, I just watch Potomac. Again, I agree with you. The storylines the last couple seasons have not been the strongest, but we have a cast of characters here and Karen is one of them. I also love Wendy. The White House thing is going to be super cool to watch. And yeah, I don't know. Another DUI story. I do want them to dive into the DUI with Karen. Yes, it needs to be addressed. But like, I just hope it's not like OC where like people are badgering her all season long about drinking or whatever. It'll be interesting to kind of compare the two, how maybe, Karen deals with the aftermath versus Shannon. So yeah, I will be watching, but I don't know. The trailer was a little bit of a miss for me.
I have to say I miss Candace Dillard-Bassett.
Me too.
And I miss Candace Dillard-Bassett, but also I'm very happy that we have to see Giselle kind of figure out how to navigate a season without her sidekick. So
yeah, I won't miss Robin. I won't miss Robin.
I forgot about her, to be honest.
Oh, see?
I really did.
But I do love that all of the ladies, like I love the blonde hair. I love the vibe. I think that they all look fabulous. I hope that they bring it this season. And, like OC was going down the tubes for a little bit and it seemed to get revived. So anything can happen just because you have a bad season or a couple bad seasons. They keep renewing you. It's like getting a fresh start every time. And producers do coach. They'll say like, guys, this season, if you want, like for Vanderpump Rules, when Sheena said that they were brought in halfway through season 11 and told like, if you guys don't get this shit together and get back to like your authentic roots, the show is done. They will tell them that. So I'm curious to see what direction production gave the ladies for this season.
Well, and I feel that Bravo is notorious, especially with Beverly Hills, that they over-deliver in the preview and under-deliver in the season. So I would much rather an under-delivered preview and just knock me out of the water every episode. Like, because there's been Beverly Hills has done us dirty. Me particularly. I have been offended at how good their previews have been, like the season trailer. And then you give us the most lackluster season for years now. I would much rather a lackluster preview and then deliver on the season. So that's where I always am hoping for the best.
I have to give this to, and it's not because I do the podcast, like, it's not just like a Monica thing, but I want to give this to Salt Lake City as a whole for last season because their trailer, like it gave us, but then us really not knowing what we're finally going to get and being able to keep that under wraps. It really, I felt like it delivered and it was talked about. The ratings were amazing. So I think that that's the way to do it. I think that's the only way to keep these franchises alive. But Potomac will be watching.
Well, and look at what a disaster that ended up being for the women of Jersey. Like how these shows that are so successful, they've kept everything out of the blogs. They've kept everything under wraps. Whereas Jersey, it was a literal dumpster fire. And it's because they were feeding all that. Like, we don't want too much. As a blogger, as people who, get clicks and likes, yes, does that generate traffic for us? Sure. But like, we're fans. We want high quality TV shows. And what they gave us in Jersey by doing all that front loading gave us the opposite of quality TV. Take notes from Salt Lake.
I agree. I think Salt Lake is what I am most excited about. That trailer delivered and those ladies always deliver. Even if we don't have this giant scandal, we don't have the Jen Shah, we don't have the Monica Garcia, I still think that we are in for another fabulous season from them.
No, you don't worry. You have big scandal coming. You will be pleasantly surprised with this season, I think, of Salt Lake. Or it's going to fall flat like any other franchise. Like, it could be really good or really bad. I'm not going to say too much, but what I did want to say is they did their premiere party. I saw some of the videos for it. I love seeing Mary Cosby back. I love seeing all of the ladies there. I'm super excited for the franchise, but I want to know what the hell is going on with these Bravo watch parties, because when I saw the videos of them panning around the premiere going like this, it seemed like there wasn't that many people there. And because I haven't been to one of these. I've been to BravoCon, right? But I know, Kim, Ashley, have you been to one of these?
I haven't been.
No. So Kim, kind of give us like is it delivering? Are these watch parties? Is it something like, I guess because in my head, let me make this make sense, what I'm trying to say. I think exclusivity and not having as much access to them and then having one big BravoCon is just so much fun. And then I think that these watch parties, it's just making them more accessible because I think it's trying to make money for Bravo. I think Bravo's trying to like figure out more ways to kind of bring in the buck, and I get it, but I think it's just making them too accessible.
Oversaturated, maybe?
Yes. Like, I don't know. Kim went to one. I didn't. So
I agree. I mean, there's this, part of BravoCon where it's like exclusivity and it only happens every few years. So you like feel like you need to go, but the watch parties every few months. I went to the first ever one in LA, and I will say there were some improvements that needed to be made. And I do think that since then they have made those improvements. I've heard from my friend who went to the second OC one. So I don't know, but it's not like BravoCon where you really get to interact with the housewives or the Bravo celebrities. There's a photo op. They do some Q&As before the show. There's a photo op. You stand in line, you get your photo, and then they kind of move on about their night and you watch the episode. So it's fun, but more so than the Bravo Lebs themselves, it's more just, again, being around this community of fellow Bravo lovers. You meet people, you start talking, you have a drink or two, and it's just like a fun environment to be in. Versus going to a regular bar and having a drink and having sports on the TV, you have Bravo on the TV, which is kind of all of our dreams come true. So I don't know. I would not compare it to BravoCon on any level, but if you kind of lower the expectations a bit, for lack of a better term, and know what you're going into, I think that that's better.
Wow, you really just sold it to me. You made me just want to buy it.
It's cool though. It's fun. You get a photo, you get a couple drinks, you get to watch the shows on a big screen in a giant room. So I think that it's fun. And, I think that it was smart for them to do it in Salt Lake. I think that, the random ones here and there maybe don't make sense, but sometimes they make more sense than others.
Okay.
What did you think about, I know you went to it, Kim, the Bravo experience that's in LA right now? I think it's called Diamonds and Rosé. What did you think of it?
Well, why don't you tell me what you thought of it first?
It felt, Adam used the term earlier, cash grab, and that's how it felt to me. They just like set up this room, an unair conditioned room in the summer. Like, Kathy Hilton, give me a box fan. Like, I would have brought 20 box fans if I would have known how hot it was going to be. And I used to be a teacher, so I know the DIY lifestyle. It looked very like, hi, this is my bulletin board for the very beginning of the year, but make it Bravo. Like, it was fun. Like, if you like just taking pictures, like all it really was like go and like take a picture next to the wall that is, kind of designed like where Luann fell in the bushes. They had like a wall of like, it was just a bunch of like step and repeats, just basically for photos. That's all it was.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. Since I did go to the opening, there were some Bravo Lebs there, so that was exciting. But I feel like the miss on that, which I think it was pretty well done. Again, if you set your expectations correctly, this is like for photo ops, you have some Bravo themed drinks and cocktails, but that's really all you're getting. I do think that once a week they should have Sheena and Brock pop in, or Schwartz pop in on a Sunday from 2 to 5 to take photos and hang out and stuff, like just to get people in. Like, there are so many local Bravo Lebs in LA and OC that could pop in once a week for 3 hours and bring the crowds in. Like, I feel like that's why we go to these things, to meet and interact with Bravo Lebs and for the other Bravo fans as well. But let's be real. We're going to BravoCon to be in the same room as these people that we love and watch and have become our friends and families in our heads. So in order to make something like that successful, you need to bring the talent in at some point. We're not just going to go for like a wall with a neon sign.
It's kind of like, to piggyback off of that, that's why Lisa Vanderpump's restaurants are so successful. It's because she's in them 4 or 5 nights a week, and she bounces, like, especially when Pump was open before the pandemic hit and all of that. She would start, you know, like have dinner at Sir, then she would go over and have drinks at Pump, and then she would go have dessert and more drinks at Tom Tom. But she would hit all 3, and the crowds would just follow her and continue to buy shit just so they could get a glimpse at her. And it's like, this is genius. And she was like, yeah,
it's like you go for the chance to see them because you know that they're there quite a bit, but you don't quite know exactly when they're going to be there. So you can go on any odd night and have a high chance of seeing somebody, whoever it is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So Salt Lake City, we're ready for you. Potomac, we're giving you a chance. OC, Alexis and John, we're done with your asses. Shannon, we're putting you up here on a pedestal right now.
And again, how are we like, it's just such a bizarre thing that the woman who got a DUI is all of a sudden our hero. Like, make it make sense. But I mean, she made a mistake. She owned it. Like, should she have known better? Obviously. Should anybody know better? Obviously. But she did it, and we can move forward.
Yeah.
She at least owned it.
Okay. I'm going to move us over to Vanderpump Rules / The Valley. I have 3 lawsuits that I want to throw at you guys. Well, one's not really a lawsuit, but it's going to be a battle in court for sure. I'm going to start off with the obvious. Brittany Cartwright apparently wanting full legal and sole custody of baby Cruz. Now, Jax Taylor did the podcast, and he said, I don't blame her for filing for divorce, and this is what's best for our family. And I know I'm an excellent father, and I'm going to be an excellent ex-husband. I think that people always, when they start off with divorces, my family's been divorced so many times. I have not, but I've seen it. People start off and they're like, you know, we can split things up. And then you start feeling like things are not fair and things aren't the way that they were because you're getting a divorce and you're not friends. So even though right now they're like, we're going to be friends. No, you're not. Because the minute that she files and says that you're an unfit parent and she wants full custody and she doesn't want to share shit with you, it's going to be a bloodbath.
I can't believe she wants full custody. I mean, I can. It's Jax Taylor. But seeing that in writing, I was gobsmacked. I just couldn't believe it. That's his whole identity, is being a dad. So what if he like can't have access to his child? What if he has to have somebody in the room with him? Like, who knows what the hell is happening here? But yeah, there goes his identity.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a tough pill to swallow for him. Like, I think that the divorce is one thing. He gets it. But not having to be able to have Cruz in his life on a regular basis, I think will send him over the edge. And I don't know. I don't know if it's going to bring out the worst in him. I don't know if it's going to inspire him to continue his healing process and mental health journey. I don't know, but it's tough. And there's got to be more going on behind the scenes. I mean, we know that he was diagnosed with PTSD and bipolar disorder. But I'm sure a lot of parents, struggle with, things like that. So what's more? There's something more to the story that we're not hearing. Like, why is Brittany wanting this?
That's what I want to know. Divorce makes sense. Full custody, I have questions.
And
what did he do?
That's the thing too. It's not easy to get full legal, physical, sole custody. You really have to prove somebody to be unfit. I'm not even gonna speak on Jax's parenting or anything like that. I haven't been around it, and watching him on the show, he seems like he loves being a dad. So I don't know, but to think that this is going to go any which way but left and that you guys are not going to fight to the deaths over this is insanity to me. Like, there's not going to be a Mr. Nice Jax. This at peace, namaste bitches Jax is going to go out the window, and you're going to get like Jaxed because he's going to come back and be like
the eyes, he's going to do eyes,
the Ramona eyes.
Okay. And he gets so red. He's so scary.
We'll be watching now. Over to another. Oh my God, there's four. Now to this one. Chef Penny. Gosh. Ariana and Katie. Well, there might have been a twist in this lawsuit because what we're hearing now is that Chef Penny might not have filed in time. meaning that she might not actually have a lawsuit, period. Everybody feels like this is incredibly dirty. People are not fans of Chef Penny in this situation. But if you guys just had to guess, we can keep this one short as it's playing out. Who do you think's going to win this lawsuit?
I'm going to say Katie and Ariana. I mean, obviously I want to root for them, but it just seems like they're not stupid. Like they wouldn't go back on their word. I think that Chef Penny is trying to twist something to create this lawsuit that, I don't know. I'm not saying she's making everything up, but I feel like she's twisting their words and trying to say that they did something that they really didn't do or didn't mean to do. I don't know. I just feel like Katie and Ariana, they wouldn't go back on their word. And let's be real, they have powerful attorneys, even though Chef Penny's husband is an attorney or whatever. I think they're going to win this.
Yeah. Well, and it also kind of feels like she set it up. It was set up with the trademark and everything in case something did not go in favor of Chef Penny, that she would have a plan B. And this seems like it was plan B to protect herself. But I don't think that Katie and Ariana were aware that there was ever a plan B in the back of her mind. God forbid they decided to go a different route than Chef Penny. But Ashley, are you going with Ariana and Katie?
Oh, definitely. There's no paperwork. Chef Penny never signed anything. Like there was no signature. Like they had conversations. The last thing Katie and Ariana said was, we're going to give this to our lawyer, and they never followed back with her. So like, unless there's some loophole where you can have a contractual agreement without actually signing something, like I'm honestly shocked that it's made it this far. And it just, when you get sued, it's so expensive. It is like, lawyers are like $500 an hour. Like, it's a small fortune to get sued. Like this whole thing, it's exhausting. Honestly, I'm so tired of all these Bravo lawsuits. Bravo's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, I feel that. Poor Ariana. Ariana.
I know. Oh, well, we're about to get into that one too. But for this, I'm just watching and I can't even believe that a conversation about what a potential contract could be or a business deal could be over a multi-million-dollar business, especially once you add in the merch and all of that, that could hold up in court without signatures, without witnesses on those signatures, without, like, it just, to me, if Chef Penny won this, you have one hell of a lawyer. But speaking of which, and lawyers, we have Rachel Raquel Rocky, who brought her attorney on to the podcast and sort of awkwardly and like an evil villain laugh giggled like, that would be just my luck. It's like Depp Heard kind of trial. And can you imagine if cameras are there? She is living for this. She's living for this.
The Delulu. I mean, honestly, like, I think we all were just like mouths agape when Sandoval compared himself to George Floyd, O.J. Simpson, the guy from Shawshank Redemption. There was somebody else. It was jaw-dropping. But for Rachel Raquel Rocky Bang Bang, I went back and looked. It's Rocky Bang Bang, she called herself. I have no words. There are no words for this. Having her lawyer on was a really, really interesting choice. Then to ask if it was going to go to trial and to assume to have the thought go through her head that she could be on the level of an Amber Heard and that Sandoval is a Johnny Depp. Like,
oof. I had to roast her on that one, you guys. I did, because I'm like, the whole Ariana of it all. Like Tom Sandoval, I'm like, take him to the cleaners. I get if she takes him to the cleaners, you know, like being recorded, all of that. But like with the Ariana, I'm just like, girl, this is ridiculous. But okay.
Yeah, so, I thought she was moving on. I thought this podcast wasn't going to be about Vanderpump Rules. I thought that, you know, she went on her mental health journey and she, you know, was going to maybe do some good and talk about other things. But nope, it's just the same stuff. And it's like she's using this podcast as a voice box for everything going on with the other Bravo Lebs and Pump Rules cast members and the lawsuit. And I have no interest in listening.
She's the Johnny J and the Jesus Jugs of Vanderpump Rules. Like, she just keeps on putting herself out. Like, if she were to remove herself, she would be in such higher graces, or if she would have just come back. Either way, she would have played it better. But what she's doing, her talking on her podcast and having zero interaction with anybody else, is literally the worst thing she could have done. And here we are.
I agree with that. I agree. Well, guys, last Vanderpump Rules lawsuit, it looks like Lala Kent is suing the cosmetics company behind Give Them Lala. This just came out. She filed this lawsuit on Tuesday. So she's sitting there with baby Sosa and she's like, send out the lawsuit. Well, their contract, I believe I have this right. This is pretty new, guys. So bear with me here. Her contract with the company ended up hitting an expiration date. So the contract isn't there anymore. But after that, she was selling Give Them Lala through this cosmetics company. And after the contract came to an end, the cosmetics company decided to continue more products under the Give Them Lala name. And she owns the IP. She owns, right? So she owns the rights to it. And in the contract, they weren't allowed to do that. So now that they started selling products under Give Them Lala and like this new matte lipstick and all of the things, she's like, what the f is this? This is my brand.
That's her name. That's her whole thing. This is what Lala has. When Vanderpump Rules is over, she has Give Them Lala. And the fact that's dirty business. And I hope she takes him to the cleaner. Get him, Lala.
Pay that $3.1 million mortgage, girl.
Send it to Daryl. I mean, can we get another video, please, Lala? Yeah, and that sucks that she has to deal with all of this, like amidst like her newborn baby, welcoming Sosa. That really like bothers me that they would choose. I don't know. I want her to have peace during this time and not have to deal with all this bullshit. But of course, there are shady people and shady businesses out there who are going to do this. And yeah, I think that she has every right to file this lawsuit, and I think she's going to win this one.
Okay. And speaking of, like when someone has a baby, and obviously, guys, I'm not having a baby anytime soon, but when somebody has a baby, you don't know what they're dealing with. Sheena was very vocal about postpartum OCD, whereas like Lala was just really enjoying the new baby life. And, then we have Dr. Nicole Martin, who just came out talking about her postpartum and how right now she's going through the emotions and she really just wants to be there with her babies. She's not going to be on the Real Housewives of Miami season 7. When you guys found out that Dr. Nicole Martin would not be joining the rest of the cast, because it is the entire cast that is coming back, what were our thoughts? Like, are you happy that she's not going to be coming back? Or are you kind of like, oh man, we're going to miss her?
I love Dr. Nicole Miller. Why would I say Nicole Miller? That's a designer. Nicole Martin. Yeah. She's so amazing. I love every second of her on my TV screen. I don't love following a lot of the housewives. I find them just not to be engaging Instagram follows. Sorry, friends, but that's my opinion. I find her to be very interesting, and I am as upset as I was when it was rumored, when it was it went around for days that she had been gone. And I'm like, where people run with one headline and don't read the whole story. Nowhere did it ever say she wasn't coming back. The story was that she had taken Real Housewives of Miami out of her bio, and that made people say she wasn't coming back. Like, come on, people, that's ridiculous. But at that point, I was like, this is BS. But once I heard, of course, when she said that she was having postpartum anxiety and that she was really struggling, the baby was premature by a couple months, I think, a few months. Like, she needs to be home with her baby. I get it. I respect it. And I just want her to be happy and healthy with her baby. And maybe we'll get her back in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the door's definitely open for her to return when she feels like it's right. And I think it's really strong of her and relatable of her, like she said in her statement to many moms, what she's going through, and to prioritize your health and your family. Even though you have this amazing opportunity, it's okay to step back and focus on your family for a while. That other opportunities will come up. I'm sure she will be back. So I think that it was the right choice for her, and I wish her all the best. I really do.
I think we'll see a cameo or two this season of her just like popping in, checking in with the girls, being like, so what's going on? Update me. You know,
I'd love it. I love Nicole. I hate to see her go, but totally understand, respect her choice. And like Kim said, it feels like the door is wide open for her. So we look forward to her return when she's ready.
Yeah, I know. Is this like, normally the housewives exit, but it's really a firing, but Bravo kind of gives them the chance to explain it through their point of view. Has there been any other housewives that have left on their own accord versus Bravo letting them go? I think there have been, but very few.
Old school, like Jenna Keough. Jenna Keough left because it stopped being fun. I miss that era of housewives. They were rerunning old school OC last week, this week, whenever. And it was nice when this show wasn't their entire lives. Like, I don't think there's a housewife on a show right now where this isn't their entire personality. It's their entire existence. This is their number one thing in the world. It used to just be like, oh, their camera's going to be here today. Oh, well, I'm just going to keep on with my life. And that's like seasons 1, 2, and 3, I think, of OC is where that was, and also kind of where that ended. Unfortunately, I love that era.
I think Candy Burris also exited. I'm not sure. Yeah. I think that she exited. Mary Cosby definitely knew that it was going to be an exit by not showing up. So I think that kind of counts as an exit. Bethany Frankel. There's a few, Lisa Vanderpump.
It's like, I respect the wives that like can step away from this huge opportunity. Like, because it's not easy, and a lot of, housewives, like you said, make it their life. So I don't know. I respect people for being able to step away and focus on other things and move on and still maybe come back at some point.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, let me go ahead because, guys, we do have a hard out today. Ashley and Kim both have things to do because this is not just it for the day. It's Friday the 13th, but the fun doesn't begin until later. Aside from this, But Kim, if they don't know, can we start with your Instagram? Will you let them know? That way we can make sure you get your hard out.
Of course, yeah. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at Bravo Breaking News if you're not already. Also, head over to YouTube. We are recapping Orange County every week. So, yeah, you thought I was fired up about Alexis and John. Now, I'm going to mention it all on our recap. So make sure you guys are subscribed and tune into our recap later today.
All right. And then if they don't know, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Taste of Reality right here. Will you let them know, Ashley? Oh, God. Of course, that's the top one.
Oh, it's Monica. Sorry. Yeah. Wow, you guys just got way too much of a close-up. That's my old eyes right there. First of all, Kim, I listened to your podcast on YouTube. And it was you, and is her name Sophie?
Lisa. Oh, Sophia. She was my guest co-host last week. But yeah.
You guys were amazing. That's the episode that I saw first. And then I didn't realize she wasn't your usual co-host. And then I met Lisa. I love them both. You guys had great conversations. Thoroughly enjoyed the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I couldn't wait to listen to the Traders episode because I'm just such a Traders girly. Great job, you guys. This is Taste of Reality's Instagram. Give us a follow if you haven't already. Imani is amazing with all the Instagram content. She is nonstop getting the stories up there. We both write for the website, tasteofreality.com. We stay on top of all things Bravo. We also cover different shows on different networks, 90 Day Fiance, Big Brother, Life After Lockup. We have Life After Lockup fans in the taste buds. So make sure to click the website and see what's going on. There's been so much today already. There's Kyle Richards and Morgan Wade updates. You guys need to know.
Oh, I got to go check that out.
Yeah.
Well, just head over to tasteofreality.com. We'll love a good plug over here. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much to everybody who's listening. Of course, make sure you go follow Ashley and Kim. And happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Stay safe this weekend. And we will see you back on lives next week. I'm going to go record with Monica now. So I will be putting up episode 6 of the Salty Podcast tomorrow. You guys can check that out anywhere you get your podcast. And then the video version will come up on Up and Adam channel 2 on Sunday. But thank you, Kim. Thanks, Ashley.
Thanks, everyone.
And look at me. I hit the time. Kim? Look at this. We're getting better, guys. I'm getting better.
Go you. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
You're doing
yes. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.